Guardians of Axum, and today I'm going to be continuing on where I left off last time. So I've only really got this amount of time that I'm working on this at the moment, just because I've got lots of other things going on, and it's hard to find time to work on these things. So today, again, Sunday, it's quite a busy day for me, so this is definitely going to be a shorter stream than the weekday streams. The weekday streams are, I feel a lot more tired because I've got to go to work and then come home and then sort the kids out and eat and things like that. But once the kids are in bed, they're all asleep, and I can start working on stuff. But on the weekend, it's kind of recovery time. So I'm like on Saturday, recovering from a week of stuff, and Saturday is also quite busy, but for other reasons. So like kids' activities, um, and Sunday is the same. We've got to do things with the kids. So by the time the evening comes, I've also got things to do in the evening. So maybe this time on the weekend is not going to be a great time for streaming, but we'll figure it out, see how it goes. Okay, so I left off last time halfway through the admin panel, and there's a few things I wasn't quite sure which way to go, whether I should do things a certain way or what properties a card should have. So just to recap, I've got a little explanation here about what's going on. So the admin panel, we're going to create a link from the main dashboard to the admin panel, and then we're going to create the new card form. So some of this we've done already, and then the admin page, it's going to load any of the existing cards onto a table and on the admin page. And also I've got to write some database specs. So yesterday we didn't quite finish writing the specs. And then I've kind of had to think about what properties need to go on the cards. So I put name, description. Then we've got mana, which is like a placeholder. It's not ultimately going to be mana, but I think it's going to be soul power or something like that. Then we've got health, and then we've got attack, and then the rarity of the cards and the deck theme. So we've got 4 different rarities of card. So we've got rare, epic, legendary, and insane. And all cards that are not in one of those categories are common cards. And then we've got different categories or themes of decks. So we've got the angels, the paladins, the demons, and the undead. So all that information is going to be held on the card. So the first step is be able to, as an admin, add these cards into the back end and see a list of all existing cards. And then when the cards are in there, the players will be able to log in and go and buy decks, and the decks will be sorted by category and then rarity, and they'll be guaranteed, say, 5 rare cards in a rare pack. I think we're going to have 30 cards per deck, so you'll find 25 common mostly, and then 5 of the guaranteed type. And then once you've bought a number of decks as a player, then you can build your decks that you're going to play with, pulling from all the different categories that you've bought decks with. And then once you've built the deck that you want to play with, then you can play against other players and play against the AI. So this first thing is a game mechanics prototype. So this is really focused on just mechanics. So that's the focus. So today's focus is finish adding the cards, admin panel, and loading the existing cards that are in there into a table. And that's probably all I will do today. because it's Sunday. So just a quick look at reminder of the artwork again. So the cards currently looking like this, and the logo and the main other artwork is looking like this. And I think I showed last time one of the newer cards that the artists are working on. So our new artist is still working on more refinement to that card. So that card was Daphne. Daphne is the new the second in command in the undead category. Okay, so let's continue on and see what we can do. So I was also reading up a little bit about how to be a good streamer and all the tips. Unfortunately, some of the tips are quite hard to do, like be interesting, for example. I don't know, if it's that easy just to become a broadcaster with not much experience, and programming as well. It's kind of like I don't know, if you're just like if you're a non-programmer, maybe it's really boring. I don't know. I'm sure playing games is much more interesting though. But yeah, we'll see how things progress. And I keep getting these notifications saying, "Hey, you're on your path. You're on the way to becoming an affiliate." So I was just looking up the other day to see what affiliate means. And it just means that I can earn some money somehow. But you need a lot more things like 50 followers and things like that. Okay, so we left off last time. We were in the admin page, and I've got to do here decode array of card, load data into the card state on the front end, and render the cards in the table. Okay, so we don't actually have any cards yet. So this success response will need to render a return from the back end. So I think it probably makes sense to jump in the back end first and go and fix that stuff. So log in, register, current user, API card. Oh yeah, so here I'm just returning hello. So when we insert the card into the cards repo, we're going to need something that's going to get us back all the cards that exist in the repo. So if I go and look in the repo, this is the card repo. So we've just got insert. So we're going to need to retrieve everything from this table, which we'll do now. And then we'll write some tests as well. I think I did start writing specs for these. Let's have a look. Card repo spec. Insert. Yeah. So let's start up a new terminal, run the specs. We'll come back to that problem with the front end in a moment. So G test. Okay, that's good. 7 examples, 0 failures. I wonder if I can make this slightly bigger. Yes, I can. Let's pop that there. Okay, let's uncomment this one. Should not insert. Okay, I borrowed this from the user test, but it's not really relevant here. Once you insert a card, all the cards are going to be pretty unique. So I think it's not really a big concern. Describe, find by ID. So user, we do have a find by ID, so let's write the spec for that. Should find card by ID when card exists. This is the card repo. Card. Let's just do name 1, description, going to have to expand these as well, because right now I've only got mana, health and attack, and I do need to add the deck and other stuff as well, which will be coming soon. Okay, so we're expecting a card back. This is expected card, and also the card repo. We're going to find by ID expected card as card should be expected card. Right, we should return an error when the card can't be found. Sorry, I'm getting maybe a cold. Maybe I'm coming down with a cold, I don't know. Maybe it's the weather here in London. It's pretty changeable. It's pretty cold right now as well. Right, so return an error when the card can't be found. Card repo. Found ID, non-existing ID, that's fine, should be a DB failure. Sorry, no card was found with the ID, non-existing ID. All looks good. Let's run this, see what happens. Rung of arguments for insert. Yes, don't need a card.new in here. Expected card, result values card. Too many of these. Failure. Okay, so sorry, no card was found with the ID. Okay, slightly different text. No card was found with the ID. There we go. And we've got a pass there. So the next thing that we'd like is describe find all cards. Do okay, so it should find all the existing cards. And here we go, we will get a result and we'll say card repo find all. That's all we need. And then we'll say, let's see, we'll do it by size, I think. So if I add a couple of cards first, so I think maybe it'll be useful to have a helper method, helper function, which is add card, and we just give it a name. Can't type today. String so this will do a card repo insert name. I'll just keep the other stuff hard coded. Also, I think I'm going to change these to more realistic things. 1086. Insert name, description, health tech mana. And then we'll do add card. We'll add maybe 5 cards. Let's do 1 to 5 to each. Just inline this here. The number. We'll do add card, give it a name, card name underscore n. So this is the that should create 5 cards, and when we do 5 find all, we should find the 5 cards, but plus, because we're only creating a database once per test, we're going to get these cards added here as well. So I probably want to filter it once I return these back, otherwise the every time I add more tests it might get a bit brittle. But I guess right now in a prototype I'm just going to do the 5 plus the 2 that we created. Size, so probably can just do, actually this is going to return a DB success, yes, so let's make it a result. Card repo find all result should be a DB. Well, let's not bother doing that. Let's just go straight for the value. Result value as array of card dot size should equal 7, I think. Okay, and this add card can be used here. That'll be name 1. And also up here. Actually, this is a card, this is the insert. So really I'm just checking the name here, so I could ditch this card. Let's reuse this bit. Name. Okay, that's good. So let's run this. Should fail. Can't go to. Okay, yes. Need to move this out of here a bit. Okay, card repo. Yes, because now I'm outside here. Should move this into the helper really. Add card. Find all. Find all. Right, so we return a DB success with an array of card, or it's going to return a DB failure. So this will be our table cards, and I think all. Let me check the docs. where's my window? Here it is. So here we're looking for rethink DB docs. Record types. Record, table joins, API reference, cases, insert, second data, DB, get all, the given value matches the value requested index. Get all key 1, key 2. Okay, so I think we just need to run it. And that should give us them all back. And at the moment, not really handling if the database is up or down or anything like that, or if the connection's working or not, which is something that I can handle when we do the relap. So I think it's enough here to return this as I want it. So let's just make it an array and wrap it in a DB success for now. Let's see what happens. Oh, query result. Can't really be a failure. Alright, so now I've got an array of query results, so I need to map this. Map, let's be mapping it first. What's a good way to do this? Let's just check. Repos. Cards. Repos. I'm just looking up in the Rethink DB reference over here. After the connection. Oh yeah, should get a raw value. And then call to A on it. So I could map it. And then get the result. Yeah. So query result. I think query result should have a value. Query result. Does that do it? Map. section. Oops, made a mistake somewhere. New. Oh yes, I need to wrap that. Oh yeah, here we go. Now put them up back in here. It's going to be a card. Query result. What do I do with query result normally? Raw to A. Can I just say raw here? To A. Ah, that's a cursor. I see. Okay. So, on a cursor, return the query. On the query, yeah, I see. Query results. So that's a cursor. So I can turn a cursor to an A. But why do I get back? Why does it give me back an array of rethink DB query result? The cursors turn into query results, and normally you'd just be able to query result.raw normally. Surely. Oh. Query result type. Okay, well, I guess we'll map it. Or maybe I should use do. Yes, I will. Maybe I should wrap the result like this. Just to make it a bit more clear. Yeah. So I think it should be something like this. Name. Description. Oh, can't type. Name, description. What does that say? Domain, DB, card. Name, description, string. Yes, name, description, minor, health and attack. Okay. What does that have to say about things? Card new with type screws. Okay, so I'm going to have to string each of these. T-string, 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 oh, big S. T-string. Okay, good. Passing. So now we can take this and return on the post. Instead of hello, we're gonna wrap this small o. Definitely think I'm going down with some kind of flu or cold or something, because my throat's starting to hit, and also I feel pretty hot, even though it's cold outside. This is cards. So I'll just return cards here, I think. Can I run this now? Let's just check. Yeah, that's loading. Let's try the API in the browser. Obviously this is not going to work until we get the front end changes done. So checking network. But if I go to the admin panel, admin, let's create. Yeah, at the moment these are all strings, but right, I hit save. What is save going to do right now? It's going to take us into the web app, source, admin. Oh yeah, so it's going to post that. We're going to get a success response. So right now I think we will, oh, something like that. We have to comment out the whole thing. I'll just return a promise never. I think that, oh, lots of scrolling. Okay, that's good. Let's reload. Let's do this again. Save. Post. API card. Oh yeah, unauthorized. Okay. Let's go register. Password. Okay. Well, they match, but it's not secure. I should probably put something like user1 at me.com. Let's change this to something strong. Oh, doesn't match. What did I write? There we go. Let's copy this. Register that. Oh, register's having an issue. Obviously broke something. Got an HTML response from Camel. Let's get past all the crap here. Failed. Okay, right, I see. I need to GDB recreate the database. User1 at me.com. clear that. Okay, register that. Go to admin. Okay, let's put some junk. Save. Okay. So I got 200 back with the right stuff. Okay, that's good. So now I need to do something with the response. So if it was 200, post API card. Let's check in the backend and database. Data Explorer r.db Goa mech dev table users. Okay, so we've got my user there. What's in cards? We've got the card. Okay, so we didn't get back the page I wanted. Let's see why. On success, do cards, current user new, and then cards on UI page. And why did this network request not give me a response? Well, not the response I wanted. So definitely did this part. Created the card. Oh yes, it would help if I put a query here. Just inline it. Card repo, find all. Let's do this again. Not so much. Card repo, find all. Yep, that should give us back something. This is an insert. Find all, do cards. Did we get here? UI page.new. So on the UI page, what am I expecting back? UI page. Well, I guess I was expecting a page object back with some JSON in it, with the cards and the current user in it. Didn't seem to get that. Post API card. Post API card. I didn't get into the here. I should have come in here. Shiv said is logged on. Shiv come into create card. I should have done a query to insert, and then on success here I should get back a card, and then on success here I should get the cards back. So I must have got here. Since that, hold a sec, I did get here. Interesting. Maybe I should put the cards out here. And then put the card out here. Let's make this a bit bigger. Drop that down a bit. Reload this. Okay, so here's my card. And here's my array of cards. Oh, I'm just not returning JSON. That's the problem. See, definitely this time of night after a long week, definitely my performance is massively decreased. Like I'm just missing so many things that if I was like really fresh first thing in the morning, I'd have no problem spotting these things, and I wouldn't take so much time to do this stuff. But I mean, this is the time I have available, so fortunately it's at the end of the day. Okay, awesome. This is good. We've got a whole stack of cards here and a current user. Okay, so the next step is to go and show those on the front end. Let's ditch that, ditch this. And now we are going to take the front end code in admin and do something with this promise here. So we need a bit of structure around, we need some records here that we can use to decode into. So the first thing we're going to need is a page. So I'm going to create a page here, record. I'm going to call this a cards page, and this is going to have the current user using current user. So the using thing just translates the JSON name to the name in the record, because Mint doesn't let you have underscores. It does more of a like camel case thing. Then we've got the page, and that's going to be page content using page. Then we'll have a record for page content, which will be cards, which is going to be an array of card. Do I have a card yet anywhere on the front end? No. Okay. So then we need a record card, and it's going to hold a few bits of information. So name, description, mana, health, attack. Now these are strings right now, but I think I'm going to convert them to numbers. Name, description, mana, health, attack. Name, description, mana, health, attack. Okay, that's everything we need in order to decode. And then on the decoding, we will, I think as well, when we arrive on the page, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to load the existing cards. So to do that, we need probably a reusable function. So I started writing, yes, here we go. Just ditch that. So I've got the response. This needs to be a sequence. And then we create some JSON. So we'll say JSON parse response body. This is going to turn a maybe, so we'll convert that to a result and we'll say, oop, JSON parsing error if there's a problem. And then we'll get cards. Well, actually, this is more like a page. Well, it's not really the page, it's more like the, what should I call it? Page data, I guess. We'll decode JSON as cards page. Okay, maybe I should call this cards page. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. Right. And then let's set the page. Maybe, do I want to set the page? I think I do want to set the page. Maybe just cards page. Let's set page. What do I call it? Admin error. Admin. Actually, I think I can just do it in line here as a state. So state page would just be a page. Would it be a cards page? And maybe cards page. It should be nothing. Maybe got nothing. Yep, that's good. So here we'd say maybe, okay, instead of set page, here we just have a next, and we'd say page like this. Admin error would be empty. Yep. And then if there's any problems here, we have to catch them. So on this sequence, the first thing is I'm decoding, so I might have a string response error, which would be admin. Let's do next. Admin error would be could not parse JSON response. Also, I might have an object error. and this would mean I couldn't decode the JSON basically. So admin error would be could not decode JSON. I think that would be it. So what's wrong here? String set page, state page. Oh yes, this should say equals. Does that fix it? Yes. Okay. And save card request, name, description, mana, health, attack. Oh right. Okay. This looks very familiar. Name, description, mana, health, attack. Yeah, so let's just change this to be a card at the moment. Well, should we? Yes, we should. Unless we're sending more things than we get back, then having that as a card is what we need. And now it's a problem. Decode JSON's cards page. This type can't be automatically decoded. Array page. Oh, yes, it's too complicated. So array of cards. Let's see what we can do about that. Boards page. Page content using page. Okay, so I think I should be able to decode that. So my card, they're just strings. My card page is a current user, and my page is page content. And then I've got page content, which is an array of card, which is cards. And so cards page has got a current user, and page has got page content, which has got cards, an array of cards. And so I've got an array of cards, cards page, decode JSON as cards page. Kind of feels like it should be able to do it. This JSON coming back has current user and page, which seems fine. Current user and page. So don't see why it can't decode it. I'll just check success response. Parses the body of the response. So here's the response. So stringify card data, it sends the card data, we get a response, we pass that into success response. Success response gets the body from the JSON on the response, and then tries to decode the JSON as cards page, and then tries to put it into the page. And right now it's failing on this because it's saying there's a type which can't automatically be decoded, and it does map an array and string. So I've got current user, I've got page, cards, and array. So only that current user is not expanded. I wonder why that's not expanded. Maybe it's just because error response. success response. I think that should have worked, unless I need to code a bit lower down. What is this thing? It's a maybe board page. Yes, I've got a maybe here. That's my page. We're just saying card page here, really. So this should decode okay. Success response. Board page is cards page, and cards page, current user, using current user, page content using page, page content has an array of card. This is card up here. Seems fine. Seems fine to me. I wonder why it's not spelling out current user. Do I have a current user? Maybe that's why. User login credentials. Register. Ah, no, I don't have a current user. That's probably why it's complaining. It's a little bit tricky to read some of the Mint error messages because it doesn't. It's very niche and new language, so it doesn't really have much of the nice things that mature languages have. So it is a bit of a exploration, should we say. Okay, so I need a current user. What does current user look like? Well, it's got an email and a name. That might look a bit... Oh, that's email and password. Okay. Email, name. Yeah, and an ID, but we don't really do anything with the ID. Right, does that fix it? Yes, okay, that's awesome. Right, so when we actually load the page for the first time, we actually want to show all the cards. So at the moment I'm only doing this call to API card on the post, but I think we need to do a get first on this back end. So post API card, let's do a get on API card context. So we'll say must be logged in. Oh, got a little bit of brighter there. We'll do a query like this. find all, return. I think that's all we need. Let's restart this. Right, let's go to API cards. Oops, too many D's. Oh yes, I can't go here at the moment. Get API card. Come on. Yes, there we go. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the dashboard. Now let's go to admin, and underneath the form, let's show. Let's do a get and then show all the data. So on admin.mint, when we first arrive, we are going to do a kind of a load cards, I guess we'll call it. Let's call it fun load cards. And doesn't need anything, not really. Just returns a promise, never void. Okay, and then we do a sequence. And let's get the URL. Actually, don't need to do that. Let's do a response is HTTP. Let's a get on HTTP localhost 3000 API card, and then we will pipe that through send, and then if the response status is 200, we will do the success response, give it the response. If it was 401, we'll do a window, navigate, login. Otherwise it's going to be error response. And then if we had any errors, we have to catch HTTP error, response error, and let's do next admin error is could not get cards, something went wrong. That's enough for now. That's good. Let's see what happens here. Right, where's my get? Oh yes, we need to use the load board, the load cards in a component did mount at the top of admin. I'll do it here. Fun component did mount. Oh no, did mount. Returns a promise. Never void. And we will just sequence this. Do we need to sequence it? No, I don't think we do. Right, load cards. That's it, just load cards, I guess. Now, what happens if I refresh? Oh, could not decode the JSON. Why not? Why could we not decode this JSON? We were given back a email and a name and a tag description, health, mana, name for page. So I guess in load cards, do save card, load cards. So we got the API for card. We call success response with the response, and then in success response we parse the JSON, we decode the cards page, and we set the page in here. So I think here it's saying it's throwing an error during decoding and giving us an admin error of could not decode JSON. So I guess current user has email, ID and name, and they're all 3 strings. Current user has email, name. I'm not putting ID in here, but I think that shouldn't be a huge problem. Name, description, mana, health and attack is on my card. Name, description, mana, health and attack is on my card. And then, yeah, it's interesting. Because if you compare that to the response when I post a save card, this post comes back with the same information, and I believe it also sets the exact same thing. So do save card encodes a user, but then it goes through success response and it comes through here and it decodes cards page the same exactly. So why is it complaining on this one? So current user, email, ID, name, page looks identical to me. Current user and page, and we've got a whole load of cards here. So I do not know why it's complaining, but we'll find out. So when you post, let's go back to admin and do something here to render the page. So we've got a page which is a maybe, so we can say maybe map cards page contains a current user and a page. So I should be able to say here page and then pipe this out here, map this here, and in the map I want to take my page, which is a cards page, return some HTML here. So if we've got a cards page, we'll just render the view and give it the cards page. So I'll move all of this stuff into the view, into a separate function called render view, which takes a page, which is the cards page, returns HTML. Let's pop that in there. Okay, and then maybe with default, if there's nothing to render, we'll put just the empty div until it's loaded. Okay. Okay, so now we're only rendering once the cards page has been set. And since we're doing a get first, when we do component did mount, we're doing a load cards. Load cards is a sequence which returns a promise, and it makes a get to API card, and then if it's a 200 we get a success response. So I think the first thing to do here is we'll do a debug.log, and we'll just put the response in here. Go to the console, reload this. So we got a 200 with the body, with the current user, the name and the ID and the page. Okay, so now we know that we got a 200, so let's go to success response. Let's first look at the JSON here. Let's grab this JSON. Let's reload. So here's the JSON. Current page. It's good. And the next thing is decoding the JSON. So as cards page. So we know we got all the way down here, but we don't know what happened with the decoding. So one thing to check is it just something stupid like it wants an ID in here? It's cards page, name, ID, yes, string. Yeah, so when you get really tired, it's really hard to not make stupid mistakes. Let's have a look. Name ID, so that's all cool. So it must be having a problem here with page. No, page is page content. And what have I got? I've got page, which is an array. Oh, I'm missing a step here because I've got an extra thing called page. So current user page, cards page, current user page, and it's got just cards in it. But I don't have cards. I've just got a straight array. So really, to keep the backend working, it'd be better if this was more like this. Let's see if that works. Okay, let's reload this. So that is good. Now we get what we're looking for. Okay, awesome. So now we need to render a table with all the cards we've created at the bottom here, and the admin list is going to, I think it's just going to be a very basic table, just rendering all of the data. So I'm going to create a new rendering function here called render card table, and it's going to take the cards, which will be an array of card, it'll return HTML. So now if we take the cards, so for each card So we've got a page which is the cards page. So we say page, then on that we've got page, and on that we've got cards. So it should be simply page, page, and then the cards are on this. So that's what I need to pass in to render view. So let's do a map, array.map, and do render card, and then render card will render each of the cards for the table. So we'll take the actual card, turn HTML, and here we'll put, right now we'll just put, actually I think I'm going to use the actual table, so I'll just put tr here with the information. Let's put a placeholder for now. Maybe I should put the card name. It makes more sense for now. Okay, so looking good. Cards array map, render the card. And here we need to put some of the table. I think I'll just grab some table HTML from Bootstrap. Let's go here. Bootstrap for docs. Components. Content tables. Here's a table. This table looks nice. Let's borrow that. So what's this? First last handle. And that's a light version of it. T headlight. Alright, let's paste this here. So this is going to be the card the card name. This is going to be the card description. This is going to be the mana, and this is going to be the what did I say? Mana health or something. And then for each tr we'll have this. So we'll do the map right here, and this would go here, and we'll just put these empty for now, and this one will have the name, card name. And this will have the rendering in here. Okay, let's see what the compiler's saying. Hopefully it's saying good things. An error. Okay, so it doesn't like this. Row 1 here. Do that. Right, all good. Let's see what we have. Oh, I actually have to call it first. Render cards table is going to be what's this div? So I've got a div with a field set in it. Let's make a BR here. Maybe 2 BRs. And then here we'll render table, And we've got a page which has a page on it which has which has cards on it, maybe. Yeah. Very nice. So now we've got the first part of the admin panel. We can create a new card and it should appear in this list. So if I make the card more distinguishable, like Superman, Superhero, 100, 50, 25. Yeah, there's Superman. Now it's not doing any kind of sorting yet, but I think this is made good progress here. So I think that is where I'm going to stop for now, and we'll continue on tomorrow with more of the admin panel. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you will join me again for future work. As you can see, the prototype here is starting to take shape, and in the next few weeks it's really going to start looking like a functional app that we can use to test the game mechanics out with. So thanks for watching, and I will see you same time tomorrow. Bye bye.